Hello and welcome to MCC TV International. My name is Jan Dabeet. I'm the business coordinator at MCC and also teach economics and statistics. This show on this year is our second season. I'm very excited about that, as a matter of fact, because the show this year is going to be totally different than last year. And all of that because of the help of our producer, Chad Bishop. I mean, he was really surprising me with too many things today when we start talking about like working on the show for this year. I'm sure you're going to see the show different this year. I'm hoping that each one of you would like it also, and I would like to hear back from you. Well, before we start our show today, I would like to talk a little bit about my summer. You know, I spent 6 weeks visiting the Middle East, working on different projects in the Middle East, some for Muscatine Sister City and some for Muscatine Community College, and some for the CCID, the Community Colleges for International Development. In Amman, Jordan, for example, I met with the Deputy Minister for Higher Education. They are trying to establish an Arabic program for, again, CCID membership, hoping that maybe we can put together some groups of students to go to Amman, Jordan to study Arabic language. Then in Palestine, in my homeland, I spent also some time establishing and signing some memos of understanding with, for example, an American school in Ramallah. It's called the Friends School. And mainly, we're hoping as a result of that to start bringing more students to MCC, hoping by next year. At the same time also, I'm very glad to say that also we signed an agreement to have Ramallah as our newest sister city. So as you see, I had really a very exciting summer, but also a very busy one. But I'm glad to be back and glad to be back to MCC TV show. Because for me, you know, meeting and greeting our international students here at MCC is always a plus, and it has a real value for myself. With us today, we have two of our international students from South Africa, a country that I visited in 2000, and I really had great time visiting that country and teaching at the university there. So we do have two students from South Africa, and I would like to welcome them both to my show. The first guest, her name is Whitney, Asia, and the second guest is Zubain Scott. At this point, I would like to welcome you to my show, and I would like to start with you, Whitney, and ask you a very simple question. How did you spend your day in South Africa when you were there? Can you give me an idea about, let's say, a normal day in South Africa?
A normal day in South Africa, me getting up in the morning, spend some time with my family, and I think I'll be leaving home about around 7 because I need to catch a train, and which was always fun. Oh my word, it was always fun. You know, because on the train you have different people, you meet friends, you make friends along the way because you travel with these people every day. You know, because I was in college for 3 years, and it was always a ball for me to travel, and every day on the train, get off the train, walk to college, and then just spend my day until about 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and then catch another train home, you know, and get into a minibus taxi, and that's how I spend my day. And I'll get home, have to do some homework, but I try to be with friends and have fun, but I have times when I'm just serious about my academics.
Okay, that's good. And in terms of your academics, I mean, do you have a degree from South Africa, or are you studying there? And what is your field or major?
My major is IT, information technology and computer science.
So next time I have a problem with my computer, I can come back to you?
Hopefully.
Hopefully, okay,
no,
that's good.
I studied in South Africa for 3 years, and that was a certificate. That was National Vocational Certificate. It's called NCV. The NCV program was implemented and was designed by the Danish Education Department, and it's a good program. I loved it. I enjoyed it, and because of that, I achieved my best. I achieved academic excellence, and that is why I was awarded and this scholarship or this opportunity to come to the United States of America.
Good, good. I'm glad to hear that, and welcome to the show, and welcome to MCC.
Thank you.
How about you, Zubain? How do you spend, how did you spend your day in South Africa before coming to United States?
Oh, before coming to United States, I just spent my day waking up in the morning, getting done for college and taking a minibus, and I go to college. And thereafter, later the afternoon, I go gymming, and I'm a very sporty person, yeah.
Yeah, so when you say sporty person, can you give me more information about that? What is your favorite game, for example? Do you play sport?
I enjoy playing rugby and enjoy playing.
And that's a big thing in South Africa, I assume. Yeah.
Rugby and weightlifting.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. How about you, Whitney? Do you play any game? Do you like any game?
There's various sports that I like, sport codes. I play a little bit of soccer and I play cricket. I tried softball. You know, I did, since I was young, I used to participate in almost every sport, every code sport. I love watching soccer. You know, I totally
Me too, by the way. This is my game. This is the game for me.
I totally loved it. I loved it. The country was amazing. It was colorful. It was, when the World Cup was just something amazing to see.
You know, I should have stopped by South Africa on my trip to the Middle East just to be around the World Cup and celebrate, you know, all these games and see awesome. All this stuff. Yeah, I'm glad that, you know, you had the chance to see this and deal with this. Not too many people had this chance to be in a country or living in a country where, you know, they had the World Cup and seeing people and sports people from all over the world coming and competing for this title. So I'm really glad to hear that both of you are somehow like sport, play some sort of sport and so on. I'm glad to hear that. Well, how about like traditions and cultures? Can you highlight some of the traditions and cultures differences that you have in South Africa that, for example, you didn't see something similar here in the United States?
Culture. There has been different types of culture shock when we came here. Especially like you get in America, you keep to the right side of the road, where we keep to the left side of the road.
Yeah.
I had very, I would to tell you something. I had major problems in 2000 when I was in South Africa. I tried even to drive a car and I couldn't make it. You know, it's just like because I'm used to like driving on the left and everything is on the right, and it was really tough to do that. Yeah.
Even how the cars are designed. You know? You guys, they sit. Like the driver's seat is on the left. Ours is on the right. So it's quite the opposite.
It is, yeah.
And it was like, whoa, you know, I don't want to get killed because I've got to watch myself when I cross the road. So.
Yeah, up until you're used to, you know, you get used to this. Any special things that you do there that you think we don't do here in the United States, whether it's a meal or, for example, it's something when you go and pray? It's anything like that.
Oh, like on a Sunday in our country, we would like celebrate. Every Sunday we'd like send donuts around to places and stuff like that. People would sell donuts, and they call it actually cook sisters. Yeah,
cook sisters.
Yeah, it's like a type of donut. So everybody like
coconut on it.
With coconut and things like that.
Wow. I would love to be there and have or try this kind of donuts since I like sweets very well.
It's really tasty.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, it's you know, that's the beauty. For, you know, when people travel to different countries, that's the beauty of learning about other cultures, learning about the people, their food, their traditions, and so on. It's really something that you cannot beat at all, because, you know, you can read a book about a country, but it's not the same. It's not like when you are there and experience that firsthand. You know, I'm always, you know, intrigued by, you know, you know, informations about other cultures and countries and so on. And I'm really glad that I got the chance to sit and talk to you about your, you know, your culture and your country. As we said, and as I said in the beginning, that, you know, this year's show gonna be a little bit different than last year. The setting for the show, I'm sure by now each one of you noticed that is totally different than last year. So with that, I mean, at some point you're gonna see, for example, some pictures from the countries that we are talking about, and the guests gonna start talking and explaining certain things about those pictures and so on. So that's a major difference, for example, in terms of the show this year in our second season than last year. With that, what I want to do here is I want to ask you to tell me more about South Africa. For example, whether you want to talk about the ocean, whether you want to talk about, and I would love to hear from you, about the Cape Point. I mean, because I was really amazed when they took me to that, and when I started looking at that, I couldn't believe my eyes. So with that, I think it will be nice to maybe start in a little bit bringing up some of those pictures. And as a result of that, if you can start giving us some idea about what are we seeing on the screen. So here, if we look, for example, at the screen, for example, can you tell us what we are looking at?
Oh, that is our president. He is our fourth black president. He was elected last year in the South African elections. His name is President Jacob Zuma. So yeah, that is our president.
Good, good, good. Anything else, Zubain, before we move into a different picture, maybe?
Jacob Zuma, he's a great political leader, and he knows how to uphold the people's strengths and aspire people to do the best of their ability.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. Okay, what do we see now?
Oh, that was just like a geographical map of where South Africa is, because a lot of people think that if we say South Africa, it's like Southern Africa. So, but South Africa is a country on its own. So it's right at the top in the southernmost part of Africa. So it's right at the bottom.